A warm welcome to my students, teaching fraternity, and all others who are viewing this uh, YouTube lecture. So, today let us discuss something about design thinking insights from FIIP. Uh, we 13 of us went to FIIP to Intellect uh, design thinking platform where a tech platform where Intellect company they deal with design thinking and all others. We will see about this in the upcoming slides. So, what is the bird's eye view on FIIP? So, what is FIIP? Is faculty industry immersion program, which the practice of every educational institute do follow. This practice help us to connect corporate culture and practices to our own students in the classroom when they were back to classrooms to learn their or to obtain their MBA graduations. So in this, we tend to look at four different things. One is observe, immerse, learn, and reproduce. So what we observe and what we immerse from the industry, we will tend to reproduce, we will learn it, and we will reproduce it in such a way that people were able to connect with the industry today. So in this, what we learned in our recent visit is that what is a design thinking? We are all shackled by different complexities and different others. How we are going to align this and how we are going to make collaborations as a driver for problem solving. And thus, we start with where we get the idea of design from. And thus, one of the pioneer, Henry Ford's, in his book, Henry Ford's Slaughterhouse, he just said that design can be from anywhere. It can be from nature. Inspire something by looking at what is being around, by the environment, by the nature. Then you will practice it as a design thinking. In design thinking, as a graduate, a management graduate, we should look at three things. One is the business, the technology, and the operation. What is the nuances and what is the need of business today? What is the difficulties in handling or what is the challenges in adopting to the technology? How we are operating it in a better way so that we are able to reach out to our end users in a better way. In this, what does a design mind is all about? We have a book written by Mr. Unmukt where he says chance of design mind. What does this chance of design mind? How I'm going to replace or what is this concept of replacing no with how to have? We simply say no. Rather than saying no, why don't we say how to have this? How I can build on this? How I can develop on this further? How I can work on this further? This is what we divided into three different things, which I projected with the help of Venn diagram, where humanized one is looking at the desirability. What is desired? What is the thing which is actually in need of? Business point of view, what is viable? Whether we are able to do it, and the ideation part, which is the base of all this, that is checking out with feasibility. If all these three are done, that is what is experience, that is the central point. So with this we will be able to form or develop a design mind. Moving on with the design of business, how a business is being designed, we have a very good book from Roger Martin where he connects a funnel of knowledge. He calls this as knowledge funnel, where when we look at a broader perspective, it may be a mystery. How I'm going to settle this, how I'm going to create this, that may be a mystery. But when I work on this even more further, it is a heuristic operation. When I work on this even more further, when I keep funneling it out, the last thing is I'll be able to come out with an algorithm. So how I am going to connect the mystery with an algorithm is what the design of business is all about. In this, we have to look at a chain approach or a four quadrant approach where we have to look at four different things. First one is understanding requirements. What is being stated, what is unstated, how I am going to make use of it. Understanding about observing. What is this term called observing? What is the pattern existing? What is the anti-pattern? Whether I am able to apply this concept, whether I am able to apply this pattern, or I am not able to apply this. Connecting dots. How I am going to connect the dots within the box? What I'm thinking within the box? What I'm thinking outside of the box? This is what connecting dots is all about. Finally, unearthing your blind spots. Rather than saying don't know, just try to say what I don't know, why I don't know this, how I can make this known. That is what we connect with the previous slides where we saw thinking in replacing the concept of know with how to have. So this was the four quadrant approach or chain approach. Moving on with few industry examples which lead to business design, we have got three different examples from three different business. One is Apple. They started think different. How I can give a service, a telecom service, or a service which no one else have provided, or how I stand outside of my competitors, building beautiful business models. You see the Apple's model through a long period. Their business models are mostly very beautiful and there's been highly adopted like country like India, and they are now most of the business are now looking at ecosystem economy, how we are going to connect with the ecosystem, how we are looking at the economy in the long run, how I'm connecting this is what the background of the design or a business design which we can gain from the Apple's insight. From Honda's perspective, everyone is looking at the speed and others, but no one is looking at the stability. So, how far the stability? Honda comes out with an idea saying that our business idea is stability is safety. And they are saying we are going to have an engine which is a power player. Rather than saying I have an engine which is horsepower and others, we say it is a power play. Connecting it with the concept of power play where people tend to hit more, people tend to hit highest. And then come moving out to IKEA. IKEA was the one which inspired design and flat packing rates. Every other packers and movers thinking out with different packing rates, but IKEA come out with the idea of flat packing rates. Moving on with their own idea, they see things differently and they come out with fresh design out of recycled one. People think of how to create fresh design from new things, but they are able to create fresh design from recycled one and they keep price tag in mind. How much price people are affordable with? What is the end user's ability? What is the end user's stability? How we are going to make use of this? Applying this concept in business help them to reach industrial standards. The law of design thinking. What is this law behind this design thinking? When you keep looking at less is more, we tend to ignore many things which is very less, but that is more. How we are going to look at it? And then the last 2% is equal to, I'm sorry, the last 2% is equal to the 200%. We are we never look at the last 2%. People in the last 2% tend to look at what is being there for the 200 percentage. If we are able to satisfy the last 2%, if we are able to think in the shoes of the last benches, if we are able to think in the idea of the least users, we will get 200 percentage returns. And this is what we call it as theory of prioritization. How I prioritize things, what is my priority, whom I am considering it, what is the results, am I result oriented, am I solving the needs of the customer. That is what is the theory of prioritization is all about. Moving out with design self framework, we have emerged into learning, but whether we are able to connect with this five self framework, whether my learning helped me to create an imaginative mind, whether through this learning or through this design thinking, whether I am getting a mind that I'm able to learn more, and whether I am result oriented, that is the result mind, how effectively I am utilizing my resources, how effectively I am utilizing my mind, how I am able to influence others with my own learning. I have imaginative mind, I am learning something, I'm looking at the results, I'm making some effective setup, but whether I'm able to influence others, that is what design thinking is all about. So design self framework is all about connecting with different minds, making learning as a new different platform. Moving on with the forces. What are the forces in design thinking? we have got five forces of growth and five forces of friction. What is this growth? When I look at this five forces, I'll be able to keep growing. This helped me to keep growing in design thinking platform. One is the skill set. Second one, looking at expertise, how to earn expertise, how to get expertise. Third one, what is the perspective of the user, perspective of the end user, perspective of the idea developer, perspective of the manufacturer, perspective of the developer, how they are using it, the idea, what is the broad solution it is going to give up, what is the thematic representation there. Aligning all this will help you to come out with a design thinking. These are the growth forces. On the other hand, we also have frictional forces. When we doubt whether this will work, that is the first friction that delay or derail our design thinking capacity. Second one, conflict. What will happen if someone says negatively? What will happen if someone says an alternate solution or they have difference of opinion? That is the conflict. This will create an anger issue and again a fear, and people will also go into an egoistic phase where whether I should listen to him, why I should listen to him. Thinking of all this five factors will friction or derail your design forces. What are the elements to watch out for? We have to look at three things. One is vulnerability. If it is vulnerable, or the way we think, or the way it look, if it is not vulnerable, then you should try to change it into different things. And again, giving appreciation. It is what people are being waiting for. If you tend to appreciate, then they will do business in a better way. Even a small idea should be appreciated. And limiting beliefs, this will not work, this will work, or this will have create me a bad impression. Limiting all these beliefs will help you to grow in better way. Removing vulnerability, giving more appreciation, limiting beliefs, all this will help you to create more design thinking nature. And there are seven spaces we should look in case of design thinking. First one is integration, how I'm going to integrate things. What is the performance I'm going to look at? What is the customer experience, whether the customer is okay with it, what is their own experience out of the product or the service which I'm going to look at. The operational excellence, how far or how quickly I'm able to make an operational excellence out of the design. What is the analytical tools I'm using it, how analytically I'm reframing or repositioning my market or my product or services. What is the risk I'm taking and how secured, or what is the security basis I'm going to give to my design thinking. Looking at all the spaces will help you to create design thinking even more further. Keep thinking, keep learning, and stay tuned until my next lecture where we connect with different things. Being a short lecture, we visited for almost 2 hours, but I'm comprising all this within less than 20 minutes. So I have to rush a bit, but stay tuned until my next lecture where we will look at other aspects of design thinking, or I will come out with other new ideas. Thank you so much. Bye bye.